Ya tú sabes, tío. Aquí estamos. Se acabó. Poco a poco se calla la boca. La vida le tira un bocado. A mí nadie me ha dado. Entro como ballena llena. Esto es como vete. Aquí no se vende droga, se vende NFT. Los haters haciendo la cola, esperando el tip. Llamante la mano y mano a mano. Por aquí los chips que quiere probar mi guía. Pica los ojos como lejía. Estamos en el agua, estamos en el bar. Dice que somos underground. La buena mi tienda, dinero me da. No escucha los otros, hablan mierda. Hablan detrás, hablan pana que el cero no bueno, no. Tonto por ser bueno, se acabó. Poco a poco se calla la boca. La vida le tira un bocado. A mí nadie me ha dado. Cuando tenía barriga vacía, dime quién me ha llamado. Se acabó. Poco a poco se calla la boca. La vida le tira un bocado. A mí nadie me ha dado. Entro como ballena llena. Entro como pete. Aquí no se vende droga, se vende NFT. Los haters haciendo la cola, esperando el té. Diamante la mano y mano a mano. Por aquí los chips que entro como ballena llena. Esto como pete. Aquí no se vende droga, se vende NFT. Los haters haciendo la cola, esperando el té. Diamante la mano y mano a mano. Por aquí los chips que. Tú sabes que abajo está mierda, tío. Todo. Por eso estoy fumando hierba. Se acabó, poco a poco se calla la boca. La vida le tira un bocado. A mí nadie me ha dado.
Antenne Radio, la radio qui diffuse les artistes du Web3 et parle du monde des crypto-monnaies. Un véritable portail qui relie le monde et le métaverse par des ondes positives. Téléchargez l'application AntN et écrivez-nous à l'adresse ant-n.com.
Hola mi gente, ¿cómo están? Hola Marcos, hola Pixelia.
Estamos. Hola.
Hola Central Gamers. ¿Cómo van? Aquí estamos en el episodio 6. Hoy gran día para todo el mundo que estamos jugando Sit and Go, mismo Pixelia, que te veo.
Pixelia, por favor, dejar de hablar un segundo.
Un poco enviciado, Milito.
Que hay gente que van a perder trabajo con SNG, que van a quedar enganchados.
Sí, necesitamos un grupo de ayuda emocional y psicológica, Milito.
¿Y cómo va mi gente?
Vamos mal, Milito. Estoy cansado desde hace segundos.
Que he echado de menos la semana pasada, hemos tenido un problema técnico adentro del Stronghold, pero hoy estamos muy calientes, estamos aquí para hacer fiesta con vosotros a la salida del Sit and Go. Yo jugué hoy un poco, Pixelia sé que ha jugado también. Marcos, pronto, ¿no?
Mañana, dependiendo, ¿no? Obviamente, Milito me dijo una vez que tenía wearables reservados, así que sí, así vamos a volver al juego.
Y Pixelia, ¿quieres dejar un mensaje para la gente que habla en inglés, para la comunidad?
Hey guys, how's everything going? Good evening. This is Pixelia here with Milito, and Marcos. We're all happy to be here with you guys. This is our last episode before the final party. And today is an amazing day because it's Sit and Go release day, official release of Sit and Go Flex mode, tournament mode, as it's called. And it's been amazing. I've had tons of fun. I hope you guys are enjoying it as well. We're gonna have a giveaway for a tournament wearable, so tune in and stay with us. It's good to be back. Tu Marcos, Milito, tu nous vas saludar a tus amigos franceses, Milito.
Ouais, donc les gars, on va fêter la venue du Sit and Go aujourd'hui. On a beaucoup de nouvelles. On a VoxBoards qui va se présenter, qui va faire une interview avec le grand King Mizo aussi. On va parler un peu du Sit and Go, voir un peu où ça en est, vous expliquer un petit peu les règles. Pixelia aussi va un peu chanter aujourd'hui. C'est une petite surprise.
No, no, Pixelia no chanté nada.
Il a
No,
compris, il
no,
a compris.
no, ya. Sí
Entonces,
tengo, sí tengo.
donc les gars, on se revoit. Et si vous avez des questions, n'hésitez pas, comme toujours, dans le Discord, envoyez un petit message. Mi gente, Pixelia. Entonces, vamos a volver. Quiero enseñarle una cosa que
Ahorita yo voy a empezar un torneo de Sit and Go en vivo.
¿En vivo?
Y al final del programa, yo he perdido ese torneo de Sit and Go, yo canto, Milito. Si no, no canto.
¿Y dónde está la pantalla de si tengo? Porque no puede mentir, yo te conozco.
Yo creo que una buena manera de hacer el programa hoy sería empezar a Sit and Go con ustedes dos. Y si pierde Pixelia, tiene que hacer lo que... Hay algo que Pixelia prometió que iba a hacer esta noche en caso de...
¿Qué puede hacer Pixelia? Puede ponerse Marco y Milito como quiera. Interesante, ¿eh?
Sí, porque para la gente que no sabe lo que está pasando, que si pierde Pixelia, no tiene que cantar una canción en karaoke hoy. Está todo preparado, tiene las palabras, no es difícil. Pixelia, ¿vale? Entonces, enseña tu pantalla, así miramos, de vez en cuando miramos dónde está tú en tu Sit and Go.
Espérate un segundo porque me toca hacer
vale,
algo.
Entre tiempo, mi gente, le pongo un vídeo.
Con la música yo voy haciendo todo para ti.
Le pongo un vídeo de lanzamiento del tournament Ice Poker Flex. Venga, mi gente. Mi gente, mira, vamos a hablar de una persona que nos ha dejado también un mensaje pequeñito. Después volvemos con el Sit and Go cuando tú preparas la pantalla, ¿vale? Entonces esa persona es Eibela. ¿Nos puede hablar un poco de Eibela, que tú la conoces un poco mejor, Pixelia?
Es una cantante colombiana que está haciendo su incursión en Web3, Milito. Ella está tratando de lanzar su proyecto musical a través de NFTs. Y pues me parece que vale la pena escuchar su propuesta, lo que ella tiene para contar, lo que ella tiene para decir, y escuchar un poco su música, ¿no? También.
Vale, vamos a escuchar también el mensaje que nos ha dejado. Venga, Eibela.
Soy Eibela, una compositora y rapera de Medellín. La canción que acaban de escuchar es un reel que lancé exclusivamente en Catalog, en Web3, porque ahora mismo acabo de lanzar un crowdfund para poder financiar mi carrera como rapera. Aún no tengo ninguna canción en ninguna plataforma de streaming porque quiero hacer mi carrera sin ninguna discográfica. Digamos que la Web3 me ha dado las herramientas y me ha abierto el camino para poder lograrlo. En Web3 tengo muchas canciones, tengo en Minsongs, OpenSea, Catalog, Sound y vienen más, pero bueno, por lo pronto mi mayor objetivo es poder lanzar mi primer álbum como artista, así que los invito a todos a que vayan y visiten mi crowdfund y miren el proyecto que creamos, yo y mi equipo de trabajo, y nada, les mando un saludito y un abracito, chao.
Vamos por su música. Mira qué guapo con los pelos al aire, Pixelia, no vea qué guapo.
Me hace pensar en alguna serie
de Pantene, Milito.
No, o alguna serie latina de los 90 donde veías el personaje así.
Sí.
Como un prócer.
Pues vamos a escuchar su música y después volvemos, mi gente.
Dale.
Subile. Ya.
Chapter 1.
Yo. Podría ser más callado, pero siempre he escrito mejor que tú, ya. No aparenta lo que no soy, callarte la boca son mi virtud, wow. Tu vida parece ficción, tranquila, no quiero entrar en tu club, no. Tengo los tenis limpios, el alma tranquila, yo misma cargo mi cruz, ya. Ya no vale nada tu pluma, pídeme el favorito, despejo la vida, ya. Yo te voy contando la tinta, mientras si te aumentas el problema de ira, ya. pesar de que llegue sin previo aviso, porque todo lo hice callado. A pesar de que su baby favorito me tenga el sello, no yo más. Con su ego de raperas yo limpio el polvo, quisieron hundirme y se le fue hondo. Yo no estoy buscando que alguien me la dé, escupo verdades sin estar en combos. No copio de analfabeta, no hablen de respeto, no fueron mi escuela. Vayan y pongan la queja, no voy a hacer música bajo su regla. Voy a hacer dinero, voy a abrir camino para que lo mío les vaya genial. No me meto en líos porque todo el tiempo estoy buscando la manera de ganar. Odiar es para aquellos que están vacíos, a los que el temor no les permite amar. Hay gente que prefiere mi lado frío porque siempre he sido fan de lo real. Todo lo que he conseguido no es pa' que el resto lo vea. Tu frontera con tu brillo y tu vieja sin verás. Te cautiva lo banal, por eso es que vives en guerra. Deja el que ni de bueno me va a servir toda esa mierda. Chapter 2. Tu mala vibra la tengo bloqueada desde el primer día en que te vi pasar. Tú quisieras que me fuera para atrás, yo metiendo triple en la NBA. Tu mala vibra la tengo bloqueada, con tu flow hasta me tiene marea. Vete pa' casa a tirarme por tirar porque aquí ninguno le piensa bajar. La fiesta empieza cuando llego yo, es imposible que yo me enamore. En la música tengo el corazón y en mi cabeza guardo los lingotes. La misma calle ya me validó, no me contagien sus limitaciones. Reposadita regando mi flow, nunca me quedo esperando inversiones. Por eso cuando llego no voy a hablar de todas las cosas que tengo planeadas, porque sé que la visión que cargo no la van a entender, mentes son limitadas. A mí la mierda de aparentar nunca me va a poder hacer sentir extasiada. Me siento fuera de lugar en un bar lleno de maniquí siendo despedadas. Retoco todo lo que yo quisiera, pero sé que trabajan nunca de toda la manera. A los otros voy a hacer que crean, por respetar la noche que pasaba en velar. Por eso aprendí a valorar la espera, también aprendí de los demás que puedo esperar. Yo mismo me sostengo en la escalera, encuentro libertad en la soledad. Tu mala vibra lo tengo bloqueada desde el primer día en que te vi pasar. Tú quisieras que me fuera para atrás, yo metiendo triple en la NBA. Tu mala vibra la tengo bloqueada, con tu flow hasta me tiene marea. Vete pa' casa a tirarme por Twitter porque aquí ninguno le piensa bajar.
Antenne Radio, la radio qui diffuse les artistes du Web3 et parle du monde des crypto-monnaies. Un véritable portail qui relie le monde et le métaverse par des ondes positives. Téléchargez l'application N et écrivez-nous à l'adresse ant-n.com.
Vamos, mi gente, mira qué tal. Estamos vistos, cuidado, ojo, Pixelia.
Viendo horas, son memes de la oficina.
Yo tengo que compartir la pantalla,
lo que provoca,
la pantalla de.
Lo que está provocando el Ice Poker en este momento, ¿no?
Marco, contrólate, Marco. No seas adicto a la luz.
¿Cuántas victorias lleva tú, Pixelia?
Como 2, Milito. 2, no he ganado muchas. He quedado muchas veces de segundo, pero solamente he ganado 2.
¿Y cuántas ha jugado, por lo menos?
No lo sé.
Marco,
he perdido muchas, güey.
Prefiero no responder.
No han sido agradables conmigo. Aparte, yo tengo un problema, es que yo me desespero a veces mucho. Y en el Smith Tango uno no se puede desesperar ni siquiera un segundo porque pierde. Tiene que mantener la calma a lo largo del juego.
Que el hecho de mostrar el teaser de lo que está sucediendo con el Sit and Go en este momento hace que la gente que en este momento está en Stronghold jugando relajada ve ese video y es como que de pronto aparecen tirando link por todos lados.
Sí, es verdad. Pero con el Sit and Go es menos que el modo challenge, porque la gente como tiene que pagar el Shine, pues se juega más póker, ¿no?
Claro.
Entonces, porque hay gente que cuando juegan el challenge en Stronghold, hace all-in porque no son su variables y le da un poco igual. Pero aquí, como tiene que pagar es otro juego, se juega póker de verdad, ¿no? Porque es que cuando pierde, pierde. No. Entonces, mi gente, Pixelia, vamos a hablar de
Señor.
VoxBoard, el primer interview que tenemos hoy.
Vale, claro que sí, con mucho gusto. ¿Qué quieres
¿Nos
saber,
puede,
Milito?
¿nos puede decir un poco quién es para la gente
Bueno, para empezar, VoxBoards es un proyecto de NFTs dentro de Centraland. Es un proyecto que nace de la imaginación, la mente y la habilidad de Miguel Amargo. Miguel es un portugués, es un creativo y pues es el visionario detrás de VoxBoards. Me parece que sería injusto que yo contara su historia cuando podemos permitir que no la cuente. Así que le propongo que más bien escuchemos la entrevista con Miguel.
Vale, y después volvemos y hablamos de él. Venga, mi gente, interview de VoxBoard.
Hey, good night. This is Pixelia here. I'm here with Miguel Amargo. He's the founder of VoxBoards. And he's going to be joining us tonight for the interview this evening. How are you doing, Miguel? Everything going well?
I'm doing well, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here with us, man. It's an honor to have you here. You know, I'm a big fan myself of what you guys do. So it's an honor to have you here. Now, Miguel, you've been in the Central End for a while. You've been around for a while. You've been building nonstop. You're one of the few people that never stops. And that's one of the reasons you're here. You know, we are very interested in what you're doing and what you have to say about that. But before we jump into that, I would like to know, and I would like you to tell the people in the Central Games, how did you ended up getting involved with crypto, and how did you ended up in the Central End?
So I have some friends that are into crypto, and all of them were talking about Mana last year, saying that they made quite cool money with Mana, and that I should look into it. So I did. I looked into it, and I looked what was Mana, and I saw that it was actually a coin for a metaverse. And I decided to go log in and explore. And I was like mesmerized with this, because I was like, oh, like this is actually a thing. This is actually real. You can actually build here, and it's cool. Like I remember to think like it was a blank page, you know, to create a new world, and it was actually like you could see it, because at the time I saw many projects, but the utilities were not like so visible as with Decentraland. So yeah, I started to realize that you can create stuff there, and that you can build your project there, and that got me very excited. So I stayed, and here I am.
That's nice. And what about the VoxBoard project? How was that born? When was it born?
Yeah, so it was born So I found out about Decentraland around October, I think. October, November, sometime around this, and I started to I wanted to make because I was already looking into NFTs, and as I am as I work with with creativity, as I work with publicity and video and design and many things like this. Shit. I kind of need to fix this one. Actually, is this like live at? Yeah, it's live.
Yeah, I don't know. We can edit it if you want, but
Okay.
we're gonna have to go back to the same question. Hola, ¿qué pasa, Milito? Bueno, esa es una parte de la entrevista de Miguel y él tuvo que salir un momento, pero en un momento vamos con la entrevista de él, la entrevista completa. Un problema con su comunicación. Y vamos a más o menos les voy a resumir el tema de la entrevista con él. Mientras Milito carga la otra, ¿vale? Milito, activa tu micrófono, por favor.
Vamos a poner la de King entonces, ¿vale?
No.
Vamos con King Mizo.
Venga, mi gente.
Hey, good night, the Central Games. This is Pixelia here, and I'm sitting right now with King Mizo, the legend himself.
Yes.
What's up, King?
What's going on, man? This is King Mizo, and I'm chilling here with Pixelia, the legend himself, wearing the bloody t-shirt. Let's go.
Yeah, the bloody t-shirt, rocking it always.
Yes.
Shout out to Smoke.
Yeah, man. Yo, thank you for having me, brother. I appreciate it. I appreciate you having me on the show, and I love what you guys are building, man. It looks really cool, and I love it. I took a nice little break, but it's nice to come back to this vibe. It's beautiful.
Well, it's good to have you back. To be honest with you, we missed you. It's good to have you back. It's good to see your face again, and it's good to see you smiling. So it's a good thing.
Oh, man.
Glad to hear. I'm glad to have you here, bro. Now, King, as you know, this is a show for us to kind of explain people how Web3 works for artists, for people doing art, right? Musicians, painters, photographers, whatever. So basically, I wanted to hear from you. How did your crypto journey started? Like, where does it start? How did you came to acquire your first crypto?
Anything?
And how did you ended up here?
Okay, yeah. Well, that one, if I'll make it faster, if I can put it all in a short story, it would be the pandemic started. I've heard about crypto before NFTs. I've heard about like cryptocurrency, investing in it, blah, blah, blah. And then I kept hearing about it, but I was too busy doing so many other things. We were traveling, we're all over the place. And then all of a sudden, the pandemic hit in 2020. All of our travel plans were done. We had a radio show in Athens, Greece. We were on the FM dial in Atlantic FM, a show every Thursday, actually,
where he played hip hop, interviewed artists, and it would be translated in Greek, and that got stopped. Like so many things fell apart, and I was just looking at what's happening at the first week of the pandemic, and I've watched beyond my personal stuff, I was watching individuals, hardworking individuals, my neighbors, neighbors, who were all wondering how they're going to pay rent. And at that moment, the landlords were saying they cannot freeze any rent. And the only reason they can't freeze any rent is because the banks will not let them. The banks, pandemic or no pandemic, want their money, right? Yeah. Or it'll be deferred and you'll owe them more later. And a lot of people don't want to do that either, because then you're just going to end up homeless. Most of us in society, before crypto, the society with fiat currency is built where your time is valued a certain amount of fiat currency, which helps you barely get by. So you still need to work every day. And you're tired when you come home and you have no time to follow your dreams, right? So people live check by check. So at this moment, when I seen what was happening, it was the first week of the pandemic, I decided to say, F the banks. I want to get away as far away from them as possible. And I want to find some financial freedom. So I did it selfishly at this moment. And I said, all right, what do? I messaged my boy and he's like, yo, I'm getting involved with buying virtual land. You know, my boy, Chris, I'm like, okay, let me get involved with some virtual land. I'm like, what's it about? He broke it down to me really quickly. I was like, I'm just going to jump in. So I told my wife, I'm like, yo, if I buy virtual land right now and all fails, will you be able to cover rent for this 1 month? She said, yes, go for it. I bought land, crypto voxels. I sold it for 3 times as much in 2 days. I did it again the next week, but I bought 2 pieces of land. Sold those for 3 times as much. And I was like, wow. And then I'm in the land. I'm like, I got all this land now. I'm waiting a week till the sale happens. Let me see how hard it is to build on it. It was pretty easy. So we built a venue. It was so fun. Built a venue. We said, hey, let's build a guerrilla music house. Then I'm like, how do you stream in here? And then I realized you stream strictly like this. YouTube video, Twitch video, whatever video, and it plays on a screen inside the metaverse. What's the metaverse? I'm like, oh, it's just like Grand Theft Auto, except I have control of this building. It's my building. Right, I can do whatever I want. So now I'm like, let me call some contacts. Back then I was really close with a lot of Woo members. I got it Prodigal Son. I'm like, I got it Hellraiser, or now known as Heaven Raiser. Got it Master Ace. And we got all these people. We interviewed them and we told them we're going to play your interview in the metaverse. They were confused, but they were with it. So we started running. So now I'm making money. Now we're having shows. We can't have shows outside, but we're conducting shows inside the metaverse. And it was like, this is perfect. So then I have tourist eyes into space and I started seeing everything and it was beautiful. And I started jumping into the currency because I was using things like Uniswap at that time to make this currency into ETH, into Matic, so I can buy land. I didn't know what I was doing, but just so I did it a few times, I was early. I started noticing that people that were early, just for using certain pieces of the ecosystem, you'd get rewarded airdrops. So all of a sudden, I got about $50,000 from Uniswap because I had several wallets. And I was like, what? That's the most money I've seen in my life at one time, except when I got money from school that I had to pay them back. But that's a whole nother story. School paid me. I bought studio equipment, blah, 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 you know. But honestly, it was amazing. And then when I got that, I'm like, yo, I could invest in this shit. Let me play around and look at other tokens. I started buying other tokens with that money. Boom, more money. That 50,000 became more. You know, I started investing it in shit. Things I couldn't. I started calling my mom, like, Ma, you need help with rent this month? I got you. You know, my sister, you okay this month? I got you, you know? And it was just beautiful. I never felt that way. So that's how I got involved. And since then, it was a journey. I was one of the first artists. It is an accolade, not to show off, but I was one of the first few people. I think 3 or 4 people that actually had an audio NFT. My audio NFT was minted April 20th, 2020. You know what I mean? And it was a song for my daughter. for the love of justice, which is full circle right now because I'm about to go meet my daughter. I don't make this public, but I haven't seen my daughter in 16 years. We are reuniting. I get to meet her. Today I'm leaving to go meet her. And honestly, all my voids are filled. Money, no money. Wealth, no wealth. I'm rich. Like, I feel so rich and all my voids are filled, where everything else I do from now on is just going to be natural, fun, and that's why it's all going to work, But I just rambled, bro, but that's been my journey. From saying F the banks, I need financial freedom, to just seeing it and playing around.
And how did you land it in the central end?
Pardon?
How did you land it in the central end? Like, how did
So there was lots of racism happening within crypto voxels. There was a small community. There's a guy named Devil.eth who was the moderator inside Crypto Voxel's Discord. I went there and I asked a simple question about land. I was still pretty new, so I was asking questions that were novice. You know what I mean? And someone was really rude to me. And I was rude, but I remember I have a screenshot. Like, I wasn't rude back. I was just more like, yo, what's wrong with you? Like, why are you acting like this in this space? Chill. I'll ignore you. Ask someone else. It became a big joke. I came back the next day. That guy started joking around with me. And I minted this, by the way. But people started calling me a black piece of shit. I didn't want to explain to them that I'm Indian because I felt there was no need at that point. Because all my life, the racism I faced was the N-word. I'm Indian. But when I'm called the N-word, I decide in myself that I don't need to tell them that I'm Indian. They're just being racist, and I'm going to defend it now. So I tried my best to defend it. And what happened at that point was I got it, the founder of Crypto Voxels, Ben Nolan. It might be some controversy, but you asked, right? It's the truth. Ben Nolan got back and said he's going to ban Devil.eth. Devil.eth wasn't banned. He still works for them till this day. And the small community there, when I saw this happen, I kind of stepped back quietly and I kept playing games, getting involved in metaverses, selling art. Then I saw racism from someone else in the space where they were being called the N-word. Women were being disrespected. It was such a small community of NFT artists and collectors that you knew all of them. All right? This was 2020. We knew all of them. When I seen that on Twitter, I watched it and I finally said something. I should have learned then what I didn't continue with the lesson recently when I blew up, when my mental health wasn't well and I blew up and reacted wrong as a human, which I'm accountable for. But back then, I got involved also. And when I saw the racism and the guy wasn't defending himself because maybe he felt like he couldn't, I jumped in and I was like, yo, what's going on? What's wrong with you guys? I started getting sent publicly on the Twitter feed swastika images. These are all minted, by the way. All of them are minted as NFTs, timestamped. With the artist names. Some of the artists are actually known, successful NFT artists from 2020. They have been sending me swastikas on my Twitter page saying, we can't wait till this type of party comes back. Yo, you can't wait to celebrate real white supremacy. Da-da-da. Like crazy shit. So I started messaging people like, yo, you guys going to defend me? Everyone was quietly saying, yo, these guys are haunted. Like, do not deal with them. Just don't respond. Everything will fall into place. I now understand what they mean. They weren't doing anything wrong. But I felt alone. So I screamed and I screamed and screamed about the racism I saw. I stepped away. But before stepping away, I bought land in Decentraland. I didn't know how to build on Decentraland. And I never asked anyone how to build on Decentraland. And I was too busy to learn at that time. So I didn't build anything. I just had one parcel. I left. I took some space, built. We did a bunch of stuff. I came back. And then I was like, yo, let me jump into Decentraland and get it built. I got it. I am Judas 1620 from back in the day. He was one of the people that supported me during this racism stuff. One of the very few. And he built this beautiful place for me with Corey Grizz from Parcel Party also helped me with the build. And when I came back and the build was made and we launched the build with the party in partnership with Parcel Party, the love I felt at the show and the new community I saw was amazing. It was a bunch of faces I never saw years ago. It was all new people, and everyone just seemed excited. Everyone was having fun. and everyone was nice. And that's how I got back involved with Decentraland. And since then, I was like, yo, I'm going to go hard. I want to use the utilize the Decentraland ecosystem for our foundation of metaverse experiences. You know, we're going to be in other metaverses as we're building, but that's how I got into Decentraland. And that's why, to me, it's one of our foundations that I believe in, because the welcome back from a group of strangers was amazing. It was beautiful. I met you, I met Milito, met Al backwards, met so many other people. I don't want to miss out any names. Cyclopa, so many good-hearted people, you know, and it was amazing. And that's why I got involved with Decentraland, basically because I wanted to find a safer metaverse. And then I found that every metaverse is just another land with human beings. And the only safe space you can create around other human beings is a safe space in yourself, a safe space in the way you react, a safe space in the way you look at other people's positions and words, and understand that nothing is personal. Understand that we are all human beings going through things, and we express ourselves in different ways, some through anger, frustration, some through bullying. Even someone bullying is someone who is going through something. And I think what I've learned in this world is, you know what? We're responsible for what we say, what we think, and how we take things, meet people where they're at. And there's no such thing as a safe space unless you're safe in here and in here. I just answered questions.
Everybody's only human, bro.
Yeah.
Everybody's only human. Everybody carries their cross. Yeah.
Definitely.
That's how it is. You don't need to take anything personal, because most likely nothing is personal.
Nothing is personal. I've been learning that a lot, like on my break.
Chill, bro. Like, for real, it's always good to just be chill.
Exactly. It's hard to be an artist though to be chill, right? It's
yeah,
like being an
I
artist.
wanna ask you something, like, because I do see a lot of change happening in this beginning of your journey here, and I gotta ask, like, how did you came from being Unknown Misery to King Mizo?
Yes. So I've been Unknown Misery my music name has been Unknown Misery for a long time. And for a long time, since I was 13, my first record ever. And I didn't realize, but a lot of people who cared about me would always tell me, like, yo, brother, you got to change your name from Misery. I was like, yo, chill. That's my superhero name. I speak about the misery of the world. I speak about the misery in me, and that's how I get it out. I'm healing. But at the same time, I got it years later in hindsight, right? So one day it hit me, and I was like, hold on. Everybody who loves me, when they greet me, they throw misery at me. Because they're like, hey, misery. Yo, that's misery. Right? Words are magic. And this is when I realized all this. It hit me. Words are magic. That's why it's called spelling. Because we spell with our words. And when someone else throws that energy at you, they're still spelling that vibration and throwing it at you. Every day, what we speak is magic. Everything we speak and think is magic. When we speak, it vibrates even louder. So it's like people that even care about me throwing misery at me. And I decided I needed change. I loved where my career, plus the ego. The ego part was, I loved where my career was. I started seeing different things in my musical journey as Unknown Misery. And I wanted to end that journey on my terms. So I made an album called Life, Sins, and... So these are the reasons I wanted to change my name. And then I changed it on an album called Life, Sins, and Death. The acronym for Life, Sins, and Death. That's the full meaning of it, but it's LSD. Because I got beats from archaeologists who made the beats for that album on Magic Mushrooms. He sent me the beats. I didn't hear any of the beats. But for 3 days, I locked myself in my studio for 3 days. I had the food there. I had everything I needed. I didn't want to leave. I popped LSD. I pressed play on the beats for the first time. while the LSD hit me, and I wrote an album called Life, Sins, and Death. I wrote and recorded it in 3 days on LSD, where I killed Unknown Misery. And that was the end of Unknown Misery. Then I took a little break because it's life. I constantly forget. I learn, I forget, and I go to a new low. Then I go to a brand new high. Then I go to even a lower low. The lows get harder, but the highs get brighter, nicer, like wiser. It's beautiful. And that's life. You know what I mean? So there was one of my moments I had to leave again. And I became King Diamond Tut. That was my name. I released no album. I released maybe 6 or 7 music videos as King Diamond Tut. And then it was too weird. I was too involved in the industry. I didn't like being around rap, because when you're around rap, it's not like, hey, let's cypher together. It's like, hey, you're good? I don't like you. Let me give you bad energy, or let me watch you on stage like this. No, I don't want that. I want love. So I didn't want to be around that anymore as I was getting older. So I'm like, I don't want to be King Diamond Tut. It's too much ego. I'm like, I don't want to do this at all. Then I went to Europe before the pandemic. I didn't say anything about King Diamond Tut. I just stopped. I became the Ghost of Misery for one music video. I was the Ghost of Misery. And after that music video, where I recorded in Serbia and filmed the video in Rotterdam, we ended up back here. The pandemic happened. And I was just like, yo, out of all this darkness I've been rapping, the first week of the pandemic, the first month, everything's in my head, like all the different possibilities. I believe anything is a possibility. So I ended up going to listen to some of my old songs, and I'm like, wow, so much darkness. So I wanted to find the light in me and the gemstones in me and find the royalty in me. You know what I mean? And then I called myself King. So it was my girl. My girl's like, well, you're a king. You know, we're all kings and queens. I was like, yo, I'm King Mizo. My friends call me Mizo, not Misery. So I became King Mizo. So Unknown Misery, King Diamond Tut naturally became King Mizo. And it became King Mizo because we are all kings. It's not a place of ego. It's a place of understanding that we all have these gemstones in us. Understand that even if we're dressed in peasant's clothing, a peasant's clothing is only peasant's clothing because the person who wears that clothing is referring to themselves as peasant. But you refer to yourself as king, you could wear garments like Gandhi and you will be Jesus. You know what I mean? And that's why I look at that. So that's where King Mizo came. And that's been my journey to become King Mizo. And it's a very spiritual place. I wanted to have fun with King Mizo. The first album as King Mizo was to manifest, and it came as an NFT last year. It was to manifest greatness. It was to manifest.
What was the name of that album?
Pardon? The name of it was King Mizo. Self-titled. Yeah. This new album I'm working on, which is done, I'm going to mix it and master it now. I played it on the island, and I went on that magic island I went to, where I played it on
Kohinoor King is the one you're talking about.
This new album is called Kohinoor King. This album is not just manifesting greatness, it's also manifesting upliftment and love, healing. It's manifesting.
What kind of sounds can we expect on Kohinoor King?
So you could expect sound-wise, house music, reggae music, hip-hop music, trap music, soul music, all mixed in one is what you could expect. And when it comes to a full mix, 90s rap, new rap, future rap, all of it. And when you feel the feeling of the album, I speak about addiction, but overcoming it. I speak about depression, but being happy. So the songs aren't about depression. The songs are about being happy. Every song starts somewhere, but it manifests. My songs about depression manifest happiness. My songs about poverty manifest wealth. My songs about mental health manifest a strong mind. You know, things like this. And that's what the song's about. My songs about addiction manifest overcoming addiction and things like that. You know what I mean? So to me, this album is a full album, and it's a full art piece, and it's something that's really close to my heart. We're going to release it on a record, on a 12-inch vinyl. It's going to have fold-out art to it, a lot of cool shit, and I'm mad excited about it, to be honest, bro. Like, I haven't been this excited about music for a long time. So while I've been.
There's a video clip out, right? There was
Pardon?
a video clip. I saw a video clip for one of your songs, for Coin or King, actually, the name of
Yes.
the song. And I saw like a teaser of the video clip, or the video clip itself. I don't remember very well. It was like a month or so ago, maybe.
Yeah, for sure. It was called it was called "I Gave You Power." It was paying homage to Nas's song "I Gave You Power."
I gave you power.
Yeah, and it's about me. I'm rapping in the perspective of I am technology, but I am neutral. But what you do as the holder that holds me as technology, you make it good or evil. I am neutral. You know what I mean? I'm here to empower and amplify good or evil, but it's up to the beholder. And that's what the song's about. And it's basically a way to explain to people that, yo, don't be afraid of this crypto stuff. Come join us. You know what I mean? That's really what it's
basically crypto is no different than fiat in that aspect. Like, I've always been the person to believe that if you're a douchebag and you get money, you will become a bigger douchebag.
right.
You know, like this type of benefit, wealth wise, they only amplify who you are. So if you were a nice person before and you got wealthy enough for you to be able to express yourself in the way you are, you will become kinder, you know, more generous. So
I agree.
I think that, like I told you before, people are just people, bro. You know, in the end, you're dealing with people, and you know, people are who they are.
Yeah.
Some of them are good. Some of them are not.
Yeah, and and most of us are.
We're all light and shadow. You know, like
there you go.
We all bright, but we're all bright. We're all dark.
That's it. It's a lifelong journey. Let's learn. Let's not judge each other. Let's do our best. You know what I mean? And that's all it is. It's like I believe in that amplifying thing. It's like because, to be honest, I've always done everything I've done in my life was attached to some type of charity work or giving. I wouldn't even call it charity. It's just life. You know what I mean? I come from a bloodline of that. Like, yo, we get, but we give. You know what I mean? And like, you have to give. It's like I'm not going to eat a slice of pizza and someone standing beside me is not having.
Yeah, that's just how I feel. Like for some reason, this is something that always happens to me. Every time I go to a place or a restaurant or something with friends, and we have leftovers, we always take them. Right? And there's always the opportunity to give them someone else. You know, someone that you can clearly see that has not eaten. And it's funny to see how people react in this situation. You know, that like I'm always surprised to see how many people are willing to just give what they have.
Yeah.
Someone in need. But there's always this person who is like, haha, this is my burger, bitch.
I know. There's always this person like, yo, I'm not going to be able to eat this later. It'll probably go bad, but I'm still taking it.
I'm still taking it, and he's not having it. Period. And it's just how it is, dude. It's, you know, it's the nature of human beings. That's it.
What did you just say about the give? Because the giving, you know what's funny, man? You know, and what's cool about like my wife, man, she's exactly the same. That's one of the many reasons we click. It's like, yo, if there's a day when I don't know what I'm gonna eat, it's one of those days. Like I don't know what I'm gonna eat tomorrow. Shit, I don't know if I'll have money to eat tomorrow, but I know it'll come through somehow because I still have a place to sleep. You know what I mean? I still have water coming out of the tap. You know, and something's going to work out, but I only have $5 on me right now. Yo, I'm giving that $5 away. My last amount of money, when I have hardly anything, that's when I'm going to give everything away. I don't know why. I just feel at that time that I'm going to give it to someone that actually physically has less than me. In their heart, in their spirit, they may have way more than me. But physically, in the physical world, it looks like they have less opportunities than me at the moment. And I'm like, yo, man, I don't know what I'm going to do tomorrow. I only have $5, but I'm going to give it to someone with no home right now. You know, and for some reason, I feel like it balances out. And I don't do it to get a blessing at all. I do it because it feels right. But because at that moment, I know how bad and panicky I feel. And then I walk by someone who obviously has it worse than me. And I'm like, I feel bad and panicky. I have $5 in my pocket.
Exactly.
So take that. You know what I mean?
This is life reminding you that it can always be worse.
Yeah, man.
No, it can always get worse, and there's a lot of people in worse situations, just chilling, for real, like just chilling,
happy.
Yeah, it's a mindset, bro.
It is.
Now, Mizo, let me ask you something. What about your DG experience? Like, how did your let's say your art connected with DG? Because I can understand why, but I want people to know why. We all know how amazing DG is, but I want to get it from your perspective. What's your experience on this?
Yo, Decentral Games, just like many other companies, or not company, I don't know, whatever. Decentral Games,
company, bro.
Are like just like many other companies within this Web3 space, are community based. You know what I mean? And so that's one thing. So when it comes to that, I always like the sound of community, but often it lacks type of support systems, and maybe because a lot of us can't support ourselves, so it's hard to support someone else. But one thing about DG is, I'm going to start backwards. Recently, when I had like a really bad moment, man, and I felt I was in a really dark place, just as human beings, I'm not talking about opportunity, this, that, nothing. I'm talking just as human beings. I felt so much support from that community. I felt that was just, it was like guerrilla music to me. Like, to me, it was just so much support. That's all I can say. I felt support, and I felt genuine support. I felt zero judgment. I felt 100% understanding. And I felt like strangers were meeting me where I'm at better than I can at that moment. And the happiness brought tears to my eyes at that time of how grateful I was of meeting great people like this that I've never met in real life. That's the end. Oh, that's the most recent, backwards. But how I met them was simple. Whenever I'm in a space, I like to build. I have a Toronto hustle mentality. You know what I mean? I've sold CDs for about 10 years of my life, didn't have a job. Because I hustle. I'm from Toronto. Like, that's how it is. We're like a small New York street hustle shit, but legal. And then I end up going to, I'm in this space, I'm building, I want to build with this person, that person. Yo, let's do this. Let's collab here. Let's collab there. Sometimes collaborating is not as smooth. It just doesn't work. It's nothing personal. It just doesn't work. I got a DG about an idea. I said, yo, I want to run an event with you guys. I don't know what we want to call it, but I want to run a rap event with you guys. And this is what we do, and I'd love to build a partnership. And there's two sides to this. One side was me being a businessman and actually understanding the power of DG at the moment, which was large, and the power of them in the space, which is large. Also seeing a projection of where DG is headed, which is large. And I said this would be a great partnership to help amplify what we're doing with Rap Token and Guerrilla Music. It was a great business move. The second part was I wanted to open up to a different demographic. I didn't want to get at just the music. I wanted to get at, I was like, yo, there's people that are here to play poker. They're not necessarily here for the music. Let's build a bridge between these communities, because that's another thing I'm always good at, building bridges in real life. So I got at them. I got a response so fast. It was amazing, like a human response. We got on a meeting probably in a week. And during that like What was supposed to be a half an hour meeting, it lasted over an hour. It was me, Murph, Justic, and Aaron. We were on a call for over an hour. And this meeting just became about like what we feel in our hearts about the space, how much we love helping. The first thing when I told them about Color the Blockchain and our charity, which you could talk about later maybe, if there's time, if not next time, but they, what's cool about it is Aaron and them, they were right away automatically like, Color the Blockchain? What does it do for the people? We love that. Beyond guerrilla music, beyond rap token, Color the Blockchain's concept of helping people have equal access into Web3 was the main reason that they were attracted to what I was saying we wanted to do. And to me, those are the type of people I want to be around. I love those intentions. So while we sat on a 1.5 hour call, all of us collectively thought of the name Metaverses. And that's how Metaverses was born. Ever since then, I've been DJing. We got the Metaverses Espanol. There's going to be more, which you guys killed, by the way. Not even killed, brought to life. You know what I mean? Which I'm learning from and taking a lot of pages out of its book during this next season for the international, man. So, but that's the story with DG. I love DG. Like, they don't pay me to say I love them. They're not like, I'm working with them because I like working with them. And they like working with me. You know what I mean? And it's amazing. As a DJ, they do support me. 100%. As a DJ, when I spin on Thursdays, they support me. And I love that. And when it comes to Metaverses, we do this from our heart, and we use our time and our energy to do it. So I love DG. I always will. And we're going to keep building, man. Big up.
We all love DG.
Yes.
We all love DG, Mizo.
Yeah.
Now, bro, let me ask you one last thing before we wrap it up. Obviously, there will be a second part to this interview because I do feel we need to focus on the Rap Token project, the Color the Blockchain initiative. Many things that are slowly being cooked in the background.
Yeah.
From a long time ago, I would say, and that I'm proud to be part of as well. And we should have a second conversation about it. But just to wrap this one up and to call it a wrap for the day, what can we expect from Mizo in the near future besides the Coin or King album? You already told us of Metaverses International. I know there's a second season for the Metaverses Espanol going on.
Yeah.
Also, like there's Metaverses French, I think.
Coming, yeah.
What else?
So Mizo. Yeah. So we have so slowly while I've been doing my thing behind the scenes, it's like we've been the Rap Heads NFT collection is ready to go. Basically, it's like almost like a button you press away, and we're just waiting for the right time for that. Until then, the art. We're going to be releasing several videos for Kohinoor King. After that, we have a documentary that we're going to conclude, which we started a few years ago on hip hop and healing in India, and where we interviewed when I toured India with some music concerts. I also interviewed a bunch of people on hip hop and healing and how they're using hip hop culture to heal their communities, how they're using it to empower women, things like this. And a documentary is underway right now. The trailer is out. If you check my Instagram, we're going to have all these out as NFTs very soon. Believe me, I'm slowly building everything. I'm going to bring it. But it's the documentary is the next thing. And other than the documentary, you could expect some comedy, be it just expect some comedy. There's going to be some comedy with some different sketch characters that I have. And I'm going to be focusing on that next, before my next album. But that's what I'm going to be focusing on. Just art, man. Look out for art. I'm a scattered person. I make art. Like, I'll start a song and then I'll be like, yo, let me draw this. And then I'll be like, yo, let me carve this. And then I'll come in the same day, right? So there's just look out for art. And there's going to be a lot of art coming out. When it comes to Web3, guerrilla music is going. We have a conference that's guaranteed happening in October 2022 at the Pearson International Convention Center, which is located by Brampton, near the airport, by Brampton in Ontario, near Toronto, so near the Toronto airport. That's in partnership with some people from the University of Waterloo, and guerrilla music, and we're gonna be speaking about or highlighting social impact in Web3 during that conference, and that's going to be his first one, and that's going to be happening annually as the vision. Things change, as I learned recently that plans. What do they say? God, you make plans and God laughs, or whatever it is. It actually is real, and
I don't like. There's been so long since I planned for things. I have guidelines.
Yeah.
I have guidelines. I have set mentality and some weed.
Yeah.
The rest is just good vibes, bro. Like you just gotta flow with it. You're like a river. You know, you can either flow or you can get overboard.
Exactly. When something falls out of your hand, it empties, so something can fill its space. But basically, if you want to hear continuously what's going down, obviously come through to the metaverses. But every Thursday, I also DJ for Party Foolish, right? Every Thursday.
With King Mizo
himself. Every Thursday, DG. And there you'll always hear updates. I'll always update everybody about new things that are happening in real time, so you won't miss a thing. So show up there whenever you can, and that's the best way to get info. GuerrillaMusic.ca, spelt like Che, 2 L's, GUELLI, GUERRI.
I'll make sure everybody gets all the tags that's necessary for Discord and for Twitter, so that everybody can just join in and just tweet with you if they need.
But yeah, brother, thank you.
For any first-time users or first-time players, any words for them?
First-time players, if
go all in. Don't go all in.
No, if you're playing if you're playing or delegating, just don't go all in. Have fun. Do the challenges. Basically, have a good time.
Don't play 7-2s. 7-2s. It's a no.
No. You know what I mean? And another thing. Pretend it's real life. Pretend you're at a table beside other humans whose eyes you can see, whose auras you can feel because they're so close to you, and treat the table how you would treat it in a real life casino.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Follow the code of ethics.
With some respect.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Put some respect on a DG name.
You will show respect while burning this ice. Yo, Mizo, it's been a pleasure, bro.
Yo, thank you.
Mad love and respect for you, brother.
Yo, thank you, brother.
Like I told you, there will be a round 2 for this. Oh, look who came in. Adelante. Look who came in. You're going to say hi to the king. And...
what's going on, buddy?
The big boy. Yo, bro, take care.
All right, one love. Peace, brother. Peace. Bye-bye.
Antenne Radio, la radio qui diffuse les artistes du Web3 et parle du monde des crypto-monnaies. Un véritable portail qui relie le monde et le métaverse par des ondes positives. Téléchargez l'application AntN et écrivez-nous à l'adresse ant-n.com.
Mi gente.
Don Milito.
Tremendo.
Con King Mizo es rey del metaverso. ¿Lo puede contar un poco en español lo que ha hablado con Mizo?
Hostia puta.
Pixelia, ¿me escucha o no?
Espérame un segundo que acabo de perder contra Yaro.
No. Pues te toca cantar.
La puta madre que lo parió.
Se cumplió.
Puta madre. Yaro, si me estás escuchando, la chupa en reversa.
Pues te había dicho que tenía que enseñar, entonces te toca cantar ahora, Pixelia.
¡Ay!
Sí.
Empiezo a practicar, Milito.
Yo creo que va a cantar ahora mismo. ¿vale?
Estaría bueno que es una medición de cuántos ahí se ganan en,
Acá
ese,
vemos
en
aquí
esa
la
canción.
entrevista de Mizo, escucharon la entrevista de Mizo. Marcos,
Sí, claro.
la entrevista de Mizo.
Sí, por supuesto.
Pues nos puedes contar un poco.
La verdad que,
Cuéntanos un poco más.
antes que nada, qué persona legendaria, ¿no?
Claro.
Qué carrera. Y lo que más me llamó la atención es el hecho de que empezó como muchos por la pandemia. Porque la entrevista comentó en comienzo que arrancó con la pandemia por aburrimiento de alguna manera. Y te hace pensar lo rápido que pasa todo y cómo, si bien fue algo, digamos, todos pasamos mal durante ese momento, como que de alguna manera todos nos conectamos con algo o descubrimos algo nuevo. Y en su caso, me llama mucho la atención cómo, debido a esto, él empieza con las criptos, empieza a moverse de un lado a otro y termina en el metaverso conociendo lo que es Web3 y distintas comunidades. Y con su trabajo terminó influyendo a muchísimos de los que estamos en Decentraland. Y es algo que en lo personal me llama mucho la atención porque él comentaba, la verdad que la entrevista fue muy extensa y muy rica en información. Llegó a comentar hasta que en un momento se encontró con racismo en Web3, cosa que se ve bastante improbable para muchos, pero la verdad que eso pase y que al mismo tiempo haya encontrado otro tipo de gente, nos damos cuenta que estamos en un mundo y la responsabilidad que lleva a estar aquí y de alguna manera ser parte de esta nueva ola. La verdad que es para hacer 10 entrevistas porque Mizo es un libro. Creo que ustedes lo saben mucho más que yo porque, bueno, Milito, vos tenés canciones con Mizo.
Sí, claro, y van a venir otras y Mizo, yo le agradezco mucho el que me ha dado una pata al culo para que venga primero a hacer metaverso español y después poco a poco conocí a Pixelia y bueno, eso es lo mágico del Web3, que nos ha puesto en contacto todos juntos, hemos hecho música juntos. Entonces un beso a Mizo si nos ve, que es buena gente y va a volver con fuerza con nosotros, ¿no? ¿Escucha bien? Mira, que ya estás tomado, ya bebió bastante cerveza.
Ya está perdiendo todas las manos.
Estoy tomando vino, Milito.
¿Vino? Oh, si toma vino, mañana va a cagar negro, ¿eh? Cuidado. Con los sulfates.
Los sulfitos.
Los sulfitos.
Los sulfitos.
No, pero bueno, mi gente, yo voy a proponer una cosa, ponemos una musiquita para calentar un poco a la gente que están ahí jugando, queda una horita
por favor.
de póker.
Ahora, algo que es muy importante es decir que hubieron 2 entrevistas seguidas.
Sí,
no hubo ni tiempo de procesar la primera.
La primera fue el blooper de la entrevista y ahorita viene la entrevista con Miguel.
Ok, porque fue, viste, llegó una y antes de procesarla, ¡pum! Otra más.
Sí, vamos
Así
a poner...
hacemos en antena.
La primera fue un blooper.
Sí, pero primero vamos a poner una musiquita, después volvemos.
Vamos a calentar motores, Milito.
Venga, mi gente, vamos con Bim Blim Bim Blam.
Y no se duerme, porque ahora no ponen música alta, pero ponen un blim 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 blam blim 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 blim 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 blam. Extraordinario, que no se duerme, porque ahora no ponen música alta, pero ponen un blim 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 blam 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 blim 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 blam. Tienen a unos blam blim blim blam blim blim blam blam blim 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 blam blim blim blam blam blim 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 blam blim blim blam blam blim blim blam blim blim blam.
Sigue roncando, que a tu mujer la están matando, le están dando blim blim y estoy fumando y paqueteando. Yo estoy gastando porque yo me estoy buscando, tengo un solo blim blinaje, no se puede estar bollando. Dando mambo, los coros están bailando, los tigres cabeceando y yo la calle controlando. Blim blineando, dicen que se están buscando y nunca lo vemos gastando. Dando mambo, los coros están bailando, los tigres cabeceando y yo la calle controlando. Blim blineando, dicen que se están buscando y nunca lo vemos gastando.
Blim blam, yo ando con mi clan, lo que antes en Minorama, ahora me la dan. Me vienen en la Mercedes y se sofocan. Y dime qué van a hacer cuando me van en la RAM. Blim plan, te la vacíe por freco. No tu mujer la paquete y se lo mete. De que tú lo quieres, de huevo el completo. No me gusta empatillarme porque me desconecto. Blim blam, blim blam, blim 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 blim blam
Andamos sin orden y sin ley, esperando que ronquen y den el break. Ando con Meloso Chucky en la Mercedes enrolando una hey pa' ponernos tu vinap y tu BJ. Subimos los vidrios pa' que nadie vea. Andamos alterado aplicándosela a quien sea. No me haga paquete con mujeres, di que pa' que yo lo vea, porque al final de la movie yo soy el que más pichea.
Prende la bocina que retumba el bajo, sube la que sube, traficando money desde que nos metimos en YouTube. Que ustedes no están sonando de los tiempos Teletubbies. Todas las mujeres me quieren desde que yo soy Scooby. Cogí el balón y a nadie se lo voy a dar sin compañía y sin condón le estamos dando sexo anal. Soy diferente, pana, soy intelectual. Le endecamos en saco para el que se quiera colocar. Colocar, blimblar, 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 colocar, blimblar, 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 colocar, blimblar, blimblar, blimblar. Le endecamos en saco para el que se quiera colocar. Colocar, blimblar, 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 colocar, blimblar, 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 colocar, blimblar, blimblar, blimblar. Le endecamos en saco para el que se quiera colocar.
I see el completo. Malma Music, Jaraca Kiko. No ando en sentimiento con nadie, me abrazo por lo claro.
Hasta el produciendo, DJ Baron K, amenazante. Ey, Cotorra Music Group, el que sabe de las redes.
Tienen a unos hartos,
Blim, 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 blam. ¿Qué pasa, mi gente?
Aquí estoy un poco adicto al sit and go, Milito. Sit and go, Milito.
Entonces, mi gente, un poco para ver cómo se juega, ¿no? Vamos a hablar de sit and go. Sit and go que se ha lanzado hoy. Espera un momento, vamos a cambiar esto.
Estamos por tener un tutorial en vivo de quien acaba de decir que perdió.
Mira, ahí está jugando.
Mira, Marco, esto es para ti, ¿eh?
Cuidado que hay gente chica que nos está mirando.
No, chicas,
no
pueden estar en Decentraland. Si son chicos, váyanse.
Espera,
no pueden estar jugando póker, ¿eh?
Vamos.
Vayan a dormir.
Estamos con el Ice Poker Lunch. Que está jugando Pixelia. ¿Con quién está jugando?
Contra Murphy. Está Murphy.
En directo, mi gente, pero que cuidado que
está Murphy aquí.
Que van a ver tu carta, ¿eh?
Mira Murphy. Blim, blam. Pero, Milito.
Mira, Pixelia, estamos de acuerdo que si pierde este partido, nos canta después una canción, ¿no?
Milito, claro que sí, estoy de acuerdo.
¿Estás de acuerdo? Ok.
Estoy de acuerdo.
Entre tiempo.
Ahí a la derecha. A la derecha
lo que vamos a hacer, vamos a poner el
futuro.
antervivo entre tiempo que está jugando que está enganchado al SNG.
Vamos
a poner el anterview.
La entrevista de Miguel y de VoxBoard. Yo quiero que la gente conozca su proyecto, que la gente sepa qué está haciendo Miguel, pero lo que está haciendo Miguel es súper interesante y Miguel la está partiendo. Miguel, buenas noches, Miguel. Miguel está aquí en el venue de Ice Poker. Saluden a Miguel, chicos.
Venga, mi gente, vamos con VoxBoard.
No, pero Miguel. Algo que hay que decir del trabajo de Miguel es que la gente que en este momento está jugando al póker y no sabe, es que todos nos cruzamos alguna vez con ese famoso skate wearable que todos quisimos, pero pocos tuvieron. Y acá está la entrevista a base hecha por Pixelia del hacedor de ese wearable que tantos envidian.
Pues vamos con VoxBoard. Venga, mi gente.
Good afternoon, the Central Gamers. This is Pixelia here. Here tonight with Miguel Amargo. He is the founder of VoxBoards, and he is a very active member in the Central End. He's been around for a while, and Miguel, thank you for being here tonight. How's everything going, man?
Thank you for having me. It's all good, and you?
Doing very good, man. Doing very good. Thank you for being here with us tonight. It's a real pleasure to have you here. And so yeah, this is our show. Like I was telling you, this is Ant Web Radio, and we have been for the past 5 weeks. We have been interviewing many the Central and let's say personalities, and well, now it's your chance. You caught our attention a while ago You have a very interesting project going on. I am a very big fan of skateboarding myself. That's how you came into my radar because of the wearable that where you become like on a board, like when you're riding a board. That's how
Yeah.
I became aware of you guys. And but before we jump into that, I would like to know a little bit more about your crypto journey. Where did you where or when did you get involved in crypto? How did you ended up acquiring your first coin? And then how did you transition into the central end?
So I have some friends that are into crypto, and they were talking to me about it and talking to me about this. One of the coins they were talking about was Mana, because they had they made some profit with it, and they told me that I should look into it. So I look into it, and I realized that it was a coin related to a metaverse. And I checked the metaverse, and I was really happy to find this because it was I could see straight away the potential of it, and I found out that you could create there, and that there was a community of creators that was very welcoming, and yeah, and I started to want to create my own wearables and started to explore all this market and all this structure of Decentraland.
That's very cool. So you ended up, let's say, in the beginning you were doing wearables, right? What was your first wearable? You remember?
But yeah. My first wearable was the VoxBoard Bundle 1.
Oh, the actual box board. That's nice.
Yeah. That was the first one that I published it. I started by doing because I wanted to do a project related to skateboards. I wanted to make a game eventually related to skateboard, and I started to do some models of skateboard in voxel art, which is a type of art that I'm really into lately. And yeah, I just made a few boards, and people really started to like it. So I started to make some custom boards for them, for some streamers, and people started to ask if they could wear it. And at the time, no, I was saying that like we need to wait for the Decentraland to allow vehicles. But with the help from creators in the community, I was able to put out the first wearable, where like it was a collab work. It was a work between me and the Decentralware. So they helped me putting this out. I made the voxel part, they made the wearable part, and that was the first wearable that actually capture a lot of attention from the community.
That's nice. And why skateboards? Like, are you a skateboarder yourself? You just like
I'm like a pretty much a lousy skateboarder, but I really love it. It's for sure my favorite sport. I just love to see it. I love the community. I love the fashion. It's really something amazing to me.
That's nice. So tell me a little bit more about the project, like the project you're working on right now. Could you explain to us really what is it all about? Like, try to, 'cause I know it's a big and ambitious project and that it has many stages. So why don't you tell me what's going on?
Yeah, so the idea is to create a metaverse skateboarding culture, where I'm trying to make this community of skaters in the metaverse, where we can meet up, we can enjoy the vibe, but in the metaverse.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a project that has a lot of nostalgia in it. And yeah, I just think, for example, when I arrived to Decentraland and I realized that there is so many skate parks but no skateboards, it was just sad. It's like, whoa, this needs to exist, skateboarding needs to come to Decentraland. Like, it's a must. Everybody loves skateboarding.
Yeah, like I don't know why, but I get the vibe that you really like the Tony Hawk game.
Yeah, I like the Tony Hawk games. I like games in general. I'm a gamer. I like a lot retro games. I like a lot Super Mario games and other things like that.
Oh, Pixelia game, very good.
Yeah. I love old Nintendo games and old the Sega games. Also, I also like the new games, of course, but I'm a pretty nostalgic person.
Yeah, no, I am a little bit nostalgic when it comes to video games myself.
Yeah.
I do keep my first Game Boy. Remember the big gray.
Yeah, of course.
Game Boy? I still keep it. It's actually it's hold on. It's bad in a Ziploc.
Wow, yeah, that's the one. That's where it all started, right?
Yeah. No, I still play with it. That's why it's in a Ziploc so that it goes.
Yeah, I actually have one, but the color one. I still have the Game Boy Color, and yeah, I still sometimes play with it actually.
Yeah, of course, they're very good. Now,
Yeah.
Miguel, tell me a little bit more about the game that you're developing. I am the proud owner of the skateboard, the wearable, the bundle, the one. And I do own a couple more VoxBoards. So I was airdrop the avatars, you know.
Yeah.
What are the utility of these avatars? Like, how do you use them? Where is the game located?
So, you can use it right now. Actually, if you go to the skate center, to the VoxBoards skate center, if you go there, if you have those NFTs on your wallet, you can become those skaters on the land instead of this Decentraland avatar, right? You become a skater on a skater pose.
Yeah.
And you can already try it. It's not the final phase at all. It's just the test phase that we are on, and we decided to share. And yeah, so people can already see the characters. Yeah, and the characters that you already have, you can already become them. But we are working now on improving this avatar swap, and also improving. We are now developing the play to earn game actually. So
it's just a play for fun.
What? Sorry.
It's a play for fun game. It's just play and have fun type of thing.
Yeah. Right now you can go there, have fun. We are making weekly challenges. This week it's just like you just go there and take a screenshot next to the art that Sir JH made. And man, I hope it's like this. That it's Josh. I hope it's like this. That his nickname is spelled. Sometimes I have a hard time knowing how nicknames are actually spelled. But yeah, every week we are gonna have like different challenges happening there. Meanwhile, we are developing the actual play to earn game, and we are making parties every month. That's what we expect now. That's what we plan. So yeah, we are just gonna make sure that we have there a space that we can meet, skate around, talk about the times of back in the day when people were skateboarding and when they were playing video games like Tony Hawk. Just talking about these experiences and talking also about other things like related to crypto, related to the space, related to their own experiences as skateboarders now.
Yeah, you're trying to create like a place for the community just to gather and socialize in a fun way.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Just for fun, like no agenda, no, no. The project itself is like, if you're telling me it was born out of nostalgia, I'm assuming that it's a fun thing to do. When you're like, I used to skateboard myself. I used to love going to a skate park. Not always to skate. Like skating was part of it, but just the hanging out there part.
Yeah,
was
exactly.
So I do relate to that. Now, this is the phase you're currently developing right now. Like, what is the next phase? When, like, you told me a game that you're developing, when are you planning to launch it, or what do you guys have forecasted for that?
Well, we proposed to the Decentraland DAO, right? And we got the funds from them. And realistically, it's gonna take a few months to come up with, let's say, the final version that we would present. But we'll be sharing the stuff that we have done. We'll be sharing with the community. So I think in like a few months you are going to be able to already play. But I don't want to state right now a date exactly. But for sure this year we are going to be able to play it still.
Oh, nice. Like, no, I'm not expecting you to throw in a date, because I do agree with you. Like, there are many things feel that, just like you say, you're developing it right now. I'm assuming that things that you're testing, that you're trying out.
And we really want to make a good job with this one, because we really want to attract new players, and we want to attract a lot of communities that are connected to skateboarding as well, but are not in Decentraland. I think this could be a cool way to make them feel at home. We also want to capture attention from skateboard brands and streetwear brands and stuff that it's related to skateboarding.
The actual skateboarding culture. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So we want to make sure that we make something cool. It's going to be something not so complex due to the limitations of the space, but we are gonna make something casual and fun that everybody can enjoy and earn some also.
That's very nice. Now, Miguel, what about your team? Like, we know, like, I know you. Like, you're kind of the face behind VoxBoards. Like, are you doing this by yourself? Do you have like a team? How is the?
Yeah, we got the team. Yeah. So I make the voxel art. I make a lot of 2D design and some 3D design also. And yeah, I'm coordinating the team. But we are also we have as a team we are Dr. Drip making the wearables and helping with the game concept. We have Paragon as a coder. We have Mr. Dinge made the build. We have also Lady Len as the promoter, and she's also like a social media manager.
Okay.
And I hope I'm not forgetting anyone. Oh yeah, come on! And DJ Trex, it's the host. The team Trex, it's the host, and they do the parties and they organize the events.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. It seems to me that you have an amazing team right there.
Yeah, they are pretty awesome, and the team works actually quite well. When the first event, I was nervous because it was the first event that we actually did. We sponsored many events, but we never organized one ourselves, and it went flawless. It was amazing. The event was great itself, but to see the team working so well was also pretty amazing to see.
That's pretty cool. Plus, you guys are scattered everywhere, so it's interesting to work like this. I really enjoy working in the Web3 space because of that. You get the chance to work with people all over the world, and
Yeah,
you
it's
feel
crazy
like
because
they're next to you. It's
yeah,
very
yeah,
fun.
yeah. It's amazing, like the how easy it is to work with people so far once we are in this using this features.
Yeah. The thing is that I think the main thing that this shows is that as long as you click as a team, it's irrelevant whether you're in the same office or not. Like you're gonna.
Yeah, it is. It works very well like this, and I feel like it's even it's just cooler to be open to a worldwide possibility, right, of relationships, of work relationships. Like you can literally work with anyone that has internet.
And yes, that's pretty much the premise. You have a computer, you have internet, you're good to go.
Yeah.
Miguel, let me ask you something. You were mentioning before that you got funding from this DTL DAO. Tell me a little bit more about that process. Like, at which point did you decide to just apply for it, go for it? Where did the idea came from? Not from the let's say skateboarding idea, but like how did you came up with, okay, let's build a game, let's build this, let's build that? Was it something that you did on your own, or did you actually socialize this up to the point where you decided, you know what, let's fuck this, let's just go for the DAO thing and see what happens?
No, I mean I didn't had funds for building a game, for paying a team to do all of this. Neither I was gonna get so fast this kind of amount of cash with the sales. Basically, the sales were making me able to publish more things and keep working a bit, but it was not something that would make me be able to build the whole game.
Okay.
So since people support a lot my project, and since I'm in Decentraland and I'm staying in Decentraland and I love Decentraland, so I love to build here, I thought that it could be good to ask for funds for the DAO so I could actually build a game here.
Yeah. That's pretty amazing. So it was like you contemplated it from the beginning like this.
Well, when when it started, I couldn't see how am I gonna do it yet, but I was always willing to learn and involve myself with people here that were very, very supportive. So I could figure this out. I could figure how NFTs work, how play to earn games work, and actually, it's amazing because I found out with Decentraland that it's possible to do many things that I only dreamed of. Like I always wanted to build a game, and we are actually building a game right now, and it's amazing. This is like living a dream.
Yeah, I can relate to that as well. Like Decentraland for me, or like since the moment I jumped in, I just saw it. Like the second I went in, I just saw it. I saw the potential. But it also inspired me. It inspired me in a different way that I think that as we grow up as humans, we start losing our capacity to be amazed by things, right? And the Decentraland just gave me back that capacity to be amazed by things easily. Like there's not a single day that I jump in where I'm not amazed by something, like genuinely amazed. Like I spent hours on it. It's amazing. So yeah, it is crazy. It is it has a lot of potential. I'm just happy that you were able to see it and put it to work in such an amazing way, because just think about it this way: everybody's doing play-to-earn games. You're just building something for fun. That is pretty cool, if you ask me. You know.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Like I said, I really love Decentraland, and I really want to see this space becoming more and more interesting and calling more and more people. Uh, I try a lot. I try a lot to bring more people. I talk a lot about Decentraland. I reach out to many creators, and I talk to them about the opportunities here. And I really think that it's an amazing space to build your project and to get involved with all these NFTs and yeah.
Besides the box board project, do you work on something else? Like, do you have another project that you're working on, or is there something else you're developing as well, or is it?
No, not at the moment. I have like millions of ideas, and I have to kind of stop myself all the time. But no, I want to keep being focused on VoxBoards. It's a lot. It's a lot of work already. So I don't think I can now dedicate myself to other projects. Even if I would like to, for now I'm fully committed to VoxBoards. Of course, there is other projects that I may invest in that I support, but as a project that I'm developing, this is the only thing right now.
This is the only one.
Yeah.
Now, Miguel, like, if I'm pretty sure you're aware of the Central Games and what they do, you know, with ice poker and all these things.
Yeah.
Now, if this was your first time in the Central Land, or if there is someone here today that's literally jumping in for the first time, what would you tell this person or these people, you know, about the Central Land? No? What would you tell? Or which piece of advice would you give to a new user that is joining us for the first time?
Yeah. So when I talk to new users, I usually tell them that they should follow some streamers, and I mention like Sinful, and other streamers, and I tell them what kind of projects are interesting also on the space and some games that they can play. Yeah. So there is a few games now being developed, and they are play-to-earn games, and yeah, I think it's worth to go there and try them out, and you actually win stuff. And there is many events, many parties. I mentioned this a lot. I mentioned that you can meet a lot of people, and yeah, I certainly mentioned that you can create there and build your own project, because this is something that it's very interesting, and that it's not really. There is no place like Decentraland that would give such a easy access to create, right? So
yeah,
I
it's
put a lot of
very
emphasis in
simple
this.
to do it. Very simple to do it. Now, Miguel, I really want to thank you for being here, man. I really want to thank you for being here, for sharing your time with us.
Thank you.
Any words for the people who may be listening to, you know, anything you would like to share with us that I may have not asked you and you feel like you want to discuss?
No, you know, anyone that wants to know more about the project, just join our Discord or follow us on Twitter. You can DM me anytime. I will reply, and yeah, I'm gonna keep building. We are gonna keep building, making this game and making events, and I hope that everyone will have fun. And yeah, just let's keep building in Decentraland.
That's cool, man. Whenever you need a party host or you need music for your venue, shoot us up. We always got you, Miguel.
Okay.
Thanks for being here with us, man, today. We really appreciate your time. And I want to thank you personally because I do appreciate all your effort. I do see what you're doing, and I respect you a lot for that. Because I can respect a lot of people who never stop, you know? you're one of them. So
Yeah,
for that.
this is my life for sure.
No, you're delivering an amazing product. Keep it going. And anything you need from us, this is your house, man. I
Okay,
hope this
thank
is
you.
the first time of many times that you jump into this space and have a conversation with us. Hopefully,
Yeah,
in a
me
couple
too.
of months, we can have another conversation where you tell us what's going on with the game. You know.
Yeah, sure. I would be happy to.
Thanks, Miguel. It's been a pleasure,
Okay,
man.
thank you. Bye
We'll
bye.
be in touch. Just stay safe. Thank you, brother.
Yeah, you too. Bye.
Take care,
Thank
man.
you.
Oh, me
Te-
uno, Milito, maldito.
Mira, que pasó algo, no te ha dicho, pero pasó algo
Me acabo de ganar Milito en el
en el
Chicken Show.
backstage.
Me acabo de ganar
¿Ah?
Milito en el Chicken
Mira,
Show.
estaba aquí Pixelia, ¿no? Y aquí Murphy. Y perdió.
Perdí contra, y aparte perdí contra Milito.
Sí,
Me
ha
ganó
perdido
Milito con
contra
un full
mí.
house.
Entonces,
Un full house escondido. Tenía un full house escondido en la mano.
entonces te toca a cantar. Te toca
cantar,
cantar.
Milito, sí, señor. Yo soy un hombre de palabras ante todo, Milito, ¿eh?
Entonces vamos a poner la música Pixelia.
No, bueno, todavía no. Yo todavía no estoy listo, ¿eh?
Como todavía no.
Vamos a poner un par de cancioncitas, Milito.
No,
Yo
vale,
creo
vamos
que
a
quedó
poner
todo
una
dicho
musiquita.
igual.
Vamos a poner una
Captado en
musiquita, mi
vivo.
gente. ¿Puede explicar un poco cómo se pasó la interview de VoxBoard para la gente que no entiende el inglés?
La verdad
Marcos,
que...
¿quieres ayudarme tú con eso?
Sí. La verdad que desde un lugar como espectador y también como persona de Centraland, fue una entrevista distinta. Creo que cada entrevista es distinta de alguna manera porque todos estamos inmersos en un mundo nuevo y todos tenemos experiencias totalmente distintas. Y en este caso vimos a una persona decir que hace las cosas por diversión y le va súper bien en lo que hace, es súper revolucionario cuando hablamos de wearables, de Decentraland o lo que él se dedica, que empezó... Bueno, yo en esta entrevista me enteré de Pixelia andaba en skate.
Yo viví en Buenos Aires 5 años y durante los 5 años, ponte que tuve auto 4 años, pero siempre fui al trabajo en un longboard.
Mirá.
¿El longboard?
Me caí como unas 2000 veces. Tengo 1000 marcas en los brazos y en la espalda porque me caía y arrastraba porque era todo en bajada, pero no sabes cómo me divertía, Marco. Era un peligro. Me compré un casco que también me protegía la cara porque me raspé un par de veces la cara, pero me divertía un montón.
Te entiendo porque yo tengo un problema similar. Yo cuando era chico, tipo 12 años, ustedes mencionaron a Tony Hawk en la entrevista y bueno, yo me pasaba jugando el juego porque la juego a todos.
Gracias, a los juegos de Tony Hawk.
Claro, porque la verdad que no era uno, sino todos. Y mi infancia fue muy así, o sea, yo me definí con la música, lo dije varias veces, jugando a Guitar Hero. Entonces mi experiencia jugando al Tony Hawk era, bueno, voy a ser skater. Y me iba y andaba en una ciudad súper chiquita. Yo vivía en Chaco, que está a 1000 kilómetros de Buenos Aires al norte, una ciudad donde no hay mucho y en ese momento tampoco había mucha cultura skater. Entonces andaba solo y era como entre calles de tierra y como que... Era compañía solitaria, no hacía nada, me pasaba viendo videos de YouTube 2010 sobre cómo hacer un ollie o un kickflip, por ahí salían. Pero cuando me fui a ir a Buenos Aires me pasó algo similar, que dije, voy a volver al skate. Y ahí yo tuve un gran problema, que es que me iba digamos, a la parte de arriba de lo que sería el bowl del skate y me tiraba de una pensando que lo iba a hacer bien. Y eso era de confianza total, pensando que era Tony Hawk o Rodney Mullen. Y bueno, en mi cabeza yo pensaba que la caída iba a ser perfecta, iba a salir todo. No salía ninguna. La verdad salía todo raspado hasta que un día mi papá me dice, tipo hablando por celular, le dije, no, estoy andando en skate de vuelta, estoy dedicándome a full para hacer skate barra músico. Y me dijo, no, te vas a romper un brazo, no haces más música. Y de ahí estoy como con esa sensación encontrada. Ahora estoy en Madrid y veo que todo el mundo anda en skate. Y es como que digo, estoy con ganas de
Es un medio
volver.
es un medio de transporte increíble. Yo me compré hace como un par de semanas un longboard otra vez porque me di cuenta que hay bicisendas por todos lados.
Pero es
Aquí
un
en
longboard,
la
¿qué es?
ciudad que yo-
Un
longboard
longboard.
es una patineta un poco más larga,
Ah,
Claro.
pero yo me compré específicamente, se llama Beach Cruiser. Mira la mano con la que me abre este sit and go, Milito, con un par de haces.
¿qué estás jugando
como
otra
los
vez,
pelos,
tío?
tío.
Pero si vienes de perder, tienes que cantar.
Milito, cálmate, por favor, yo necesito ganar.
Que no, un
Y
poco.
tú me acabas de mirar.
Que vienes de perder, para ya.
Basta,
Relájate.
Pixelia.
Encima, que tienes
Tú no
esta
eres mi
chica muy
jefe,
mala.
tú no eres mi jefe, ¿eh? Tú no eres mi jefe, Milito, ¿eh?
Sí,
Tú
soy
eres
tu
el
jefe,
que
te vengo de dar una paliza. Te doy-
Tengo mucho
te-
time y me lo voy a gastar todo.
Te da una
Tengo
paliza,
mismas,
hombre.
y tengo gorras, y tengo camisetas. Me lo voy a gastar todo, Milito.
Qué
Todo.
malo, eres muy malo.
Lo
tío.
mejor de todo era verlo a Pixelia con el vino, la copa de vino, modo celebración.
Pero tú no has visto como la rabia que tenía, lo vi ahí abajo, estaba llorando.
No, yo estaba escuchando la entrevista,
Me
mirando y
ganó,
ahora
le salió
recién
el
me
full house en
entero.
la última carta, Marco. Le salió el full house en la última carta. Me
Full
ganó
house.
con la última carta el cabrón.
Esa
Y él
duele.
tenía
Quiero
escalera.
que quede claro en vivo que me ganó con la última carta, que el River lo salvó. ¿Eh?
Eso el póker.
Pero que valió la pena el riesgo. Para mí valió la pena el riesgo porque si no, yo le hubiera ganado a él. Y para mí eso era suficiente. ¿eh?
Mi gente, ¿qué os parece si ponemos un pequeño Pepe y Pepa? Porque
Pepe,
son los
Pepa,
10
Pepe,
minutos que
Pepa,
quedan
Pepe.
al final.
Épico.
Y volvemos, mi gente. Venga.
Ya tú sabes, tío. Milito, y a la buena, a la buena. Estamos en la meta, estamos en la meta. Chipato, no vista la bala. Diga, sígala, quemando cigalo. No llames tu amigo, te mete la pata. Sangre pirata, hambre pirana. Fuera de puta si hables la pata. Quito plata, quito playa. Capitalismo, vecino mata. Pepe, 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 pepa. Pepe, 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 pepa. Pepe, 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 pepa. Pepe, 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 pepa. Al Pepe le gusta el billete, la Pepa le gusta maleta, al Pepe le gusta los 7, al Pepa le gusta la reina. Pepe y Pepa, estamos en la meta. Pepe y Pepa, me gusta con maneja. Pepe y Pepa, estamos en la meta. Pepe y Pepa, dame buena carta. Milito, el guiri, el moro francés, como dicen Mary. Pixelia Benzema, me siento raro. Vengo de Leo, me adaptato, soy un puto camaleo. Pepe, 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 Pepa. Pepe, 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 Pepa. Pepe, 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 Pepa. Pepe, 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 Pepa. El Pepe le gusta billete, la Pepa le gusta maleta. El Pepe le gusta los 7, la Pepa le gusta la reina. Pepe y Pepa, estamos en la beta. Pepe y Pepa, me gusta con maneja. Pepe y Pepa, estamos en la beta. Pepe y Pepa, dame buena carta. Milito, el guiri, el moro francés, como dice Mary. Pixelia Benzema, me siento raro. Vengo de Leo, me adaptato, soy un puto camareo. Como Leo lo falla, como Leo no falla, como Leo no falla, como acento raro. Vengo de Leo, la buena, la buena, la mala, la mala. El tempo está gustado, tío, está bueno, sí. Pepe, 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 Pepa. Pepe, 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 Pepa. Pepe, 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 Pepa. Pepe, 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 Pepa. El Pepe le gusta billete, la Pepa le gusta maleta. El Pepe le gusta los 7, la Pepa le gusta la reina.
Antenne Radio, la radio qui diffuse les artistes du Web3 et parle du monde des crypto-monnaies. Un véritable portail qui relie le monde et le métaverse par des ondes positives. Téléchargez l'application OnN et écrivez-nous à l'adresse ans-n.com.
Mi gente, que está tocando los 10 minutitos del final de Ice Poker. Pepe y Pepa.
Toca entender todo con Crispr, entonces, si quedan los últimos 10 minutos, yo propongo que...
No, yo propongo que hacemos el karaoke no te
el karaoke al final, el karaoke al final.
No.
Yo no me siento preparado, Milito, no puedes obligarme.
Te estás escapando,
El karaoke al final, Milito, es lo único que te ruego. Yo accedo al karaoke, pero el karaoke al
Que
final.
tú eres muy listo.
Es lo único que pido, el karaoke al final. Es lo único que ruego.
Yo creo que vamos a hacer un voto.
Yo
¿Qué dices
quiero
tú,
que...
Marcos?
Yo creo que habría que hablar un poco.
La democracia no aplica aquí. La democracia no aplica aquí.
No, hablemos de otra cosa. Yo creo que Pixelia tiene que cuidar su garganta, pero me gustaría saber un poco qué hay detrás de la canción que va a interpretar esta noche. Hagamos una previa, hoy la interview toca hacia Pixelia, la nueva
lo que hay detrás de la canción es Milito. Se llama Milito. Eso es lo que hay detrás de la canción, se llama Milito.
Es su canción favorita.
Milito y su amor por la música colombiana es lo que hay detrás.
No, es verdad, es una canción que me encanta, ¿no? Pero, mira, mi gente, le
Milito quiere que yo la
algo.
cante con el acento del tipo de la música.
Mira lo que está pasando.
¿Vas a ganar? Dime que vas a ganar, dime que vas a ganar.
Vamos a ver. Le voy a hacer la trampa.
Check.
Va a poner.
Milito, ven acá, entonces todos estamos adictos al sit and go. Eso es lo que está pasando.
¡Oh!
Eso es lo que está pasando. No. O sea, todos deberíamos estar haciendo otra cosa, pero todos estamos jugando sit and go. Excelente. Y ahora
bueno, se terminó la emisión. Muchas gracias a mi gente.
No.
Me acaban de confirmar que hay doble karaoke esta noche.
Bueno, que hay doble karaoke, le acabaron de zurrar a Milito.
Mira, si pierdo, canto contigo, ¿vale? Si pierdo,
Milito, ¿te acabaron de zurrar, Milito?
No.
Milito,
no.
vamos.
No.
Lo zurraron. Te zurraron, Milito. No. Perdedor. Vamos con Crispr, Milito, por favor.
Bueno, ponemos la canción entonces, que si no después.
Vamos con Crispr, Milito, vamos con Crispr.
Vale, vamos con
Crispr.
Crispr, mi gente.
Cantamos la canción los dos porque los dos perdimos.
Vale.
Pero la
Marcos
canto yo
nos va a
primero
ayudar
porque
un
yo
poco.
perdí de primero, ¿vale?
Vale, mi gente, venga. Nos vemos.
Vamos con Crispr y yo canto. Oh.
Antenne Radio, la radio qui diffuse les artistes du Web3 et parle du monde des crypto-monnaies. Un véritable portail qui relie le monde et le métaverse par des ondes positives. Téléchargez l'application AntN et écrivez-nous à l'adresse ant-n.com.
¿Qué pasa, Marcos? ¿Qué pasa, Milito? ¿Qué dices, Marcos?
No, tremendo. Qué máquina, digo. Crispr.
Ok. A mí también me pareció muy máquina. Milito, activa tu micrófono. Como siempre, Milito. Como siempre.
Mi gente, que tenemos una
Milito
mano
está
aquí.
pensando.
Acabé de ganar mi primer Titango del día, Milito. Acabé de ganar mi primer Titango del día.
¿Ganaste?
Acabé de ganar.
Mira, aquí
Y
Max.
está grabado.
Contra el cabrón de Yaros.
Olin.
weón. Me tocó otra vez contra Yaros. Yaros no me gusta cómo juega. Juega muy
Bueno, mi
como
gente, qué día hoy muy exitoso. Hemos tenido 3 entrevistas, una pequeña de Elia Vela. Hemos tenido Crispr, que nos ha hecho una música del futuro en su universo de A a Z.
No.
Pero bueno, era muy agradable mirar lo que
yo
hace.
te voy a decir algo. Ahí pueden haber opiniones encontradas. ¿Sabes por qué? Yo lo veo desde 2 puntos de vista. Yo lo veo desde mi punto de vista personal y como del punto de vista general. Puede que al común denominador de la gente no le guste la música así, pero a mí personalmente me gusta porque no sé si la gente se dio cuenta que la música él la hizo de cero.
Sí,
toda.
sí, es lo que he dicho. De A a Z.
Sí, o sea, es como si él hubiera tocado todos los instrumentos, como si él supiera tocar todos los instrumentos y todo lo hizo con realidad virtual, con un Oculus Quest. No me jodas.
Es una locura, sí, era chulo. A mí
Yo a esto,
Y la
él me
calidad
lo
de
dijo
audio.
antes de hacer el set. Es la primera vez que voy a hacer un set así en mi vida.
Sí. No, de verdad.
A mí me parece que Crispr siempre se merece la oportunidad de experimentar y a mí personalmente me gusta el experimento que vi.
Es lo que me gusta, que cada vez trae algo diferente y que le gusta hacer cosas.
Necesité un poco de ayuda, Milito, para entrar en la onda de la música, pero...
¿Que como qué?
Que necesito un poco de ayuda.
No se te ha olvidado que, mira, mi gente, vamos a terminar con la música de Pixelia, karaoke.
Pixelia y Milito, porque Milito también perdió. Milito también perdió, señoras y señores.
Vale, venga, vamos, mi gente, y terminamos con eso, karaoke, Pixelia, Milito, un poco
pero
más.
un mini karaoke, Milito, porque yo no puedo gritar porque están mis vecinos durmiendo.
No, tiene que cantar. No,
bueno, va.
Me dice al final del día y después ahora dice.
Solo se vivió una vez, Milito, suéltalo.
Venga, vamos.
Eres un cabrón, Milito.
No hay que cantar, que te doy palo.
Me gusta el olor que tiene la mañana. Me gusta el primer traguito de café. Sentir como el sol se asoma a mi ventana y me llena la mirada de un hermoso amanecer. Me gusta escuchar la paz de las montañas, mirar los colores del atardecer, sentir en mi piel la arena de la playa y lo dulce de la calle cuando beso a mi mujer. Sé que el tiempo ya no puede borrarme de la lista, pero yo digo que ay, qué bonita es esta vida, aunque a veces duela tanto y a pesar de los pesares, siempre hay alguien que nos quiere, siempre hay alguien que nos cuida. Ay, 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 qué bonita es esta vida. Y aunque no se para siempre, si la vivo
es bonita está la muerte con la cual. Vamos, Pixelia, mi gente.
placer como siempre, Marco.
Muchas gracias.
Con este banner de Don Fernando Vallenar.
Un beso, mi gente. Adiós.